A new law in California will cap how much rent can increase every year. We'll have details and reaction.
VR meets active shooter trainings. We talked to DPS about their thoughts on this new technology.
And a new mental health app offers students free and easily accessible support.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
Good news tonight for millions of renters across California. Good evening, I'm Jamia Pugh.
And I'm Caleb Michael. Under a new law signed by Governor Gavin Newsom, landlords will not be able to increase rent more than 5% after adjusting for inflation. While this law may help many renters across the state, the city of LA already has stricter rent control laws.
So overall, very, very broad coverage in terms of the number of people protected. And most importantly, it doesn't weaken any of the existing rent control laws. So that's extremely important. Today, just about every tenant in California has some protection.
Elena Pop predicts the cap will offer relief to struggling tenants, but some are concerned the law might not stabilize housing costs in the long run.
The analogy I would use is putting a Band-Aid on a wound. What I hope doesn't happen is that doesn't stop the conversation. Say, oh, well, we passed a rent control measure, therefore we've addressed this issue of people's rents going up faster than their incomes.
Now, the law does not apply to housing built in the last 15 years, and single-family homes are exempt. The law signed today by the governor goes into effect January 1st.
The LGBTQ community is paying close attention to the U.S. Supreme Court. The justices heard arguments today about 3 cases of alleged discrimination in the workplace. This comes 4 years after same-sex marriage was made legal in the U.S. 2 of the cases address discrimination against gay employees, while the third involves a transgender worker.
When do we want justice? When do we want now? When do we want justice?
Today, thousands gathered in D.C. in support of the LGBTQ community. They're hoping the justices side with 3 workers in this major test of civil rights for gay and transgender Americans. Donald Zarda, a skydiving instructor from New York, was dismissed after joking that he was 100% gay. Gerald Bostock of Georgia lost his job after joining a gay recreational softball league. And Amy Stevens, who originally worked as Anthony Stevens in Michigan, was fired when she wanted to return to work as her, quote, true self. We talked to a representative of the campus LGBT Resource Center about the cases before the Supreme Court.
When the Supreme Court heard the case of Obergefell versus Hodges in 2015, they were able to say nationally that same-sex couples can get married, which then allowed for individuals to feel like they could actually be more of themselves in the workplace. With this right now, people are fearing that are within the LGBT community whether or not they can still be themselves in fear of actually being fired on the basis of who they love or who they are.
Title VII of the Civil Rights Act forbids employers from discriminating against employees on the basis of sex, gender, and race. The court appeared divided over whether the law applies to gay and transgender workers.
USC Vaping developed a digital tool used to assess movie and TV scripts and their level of diversity. Actor Gina Davis announced the launching of Spell Check for Bias at a recent Power of Inclusion Summit in New Zealand. AI technology developed at the engineering school will identify bias in scripts that underrepresent women, minorities, and those with disabilities. The Gina Davis Institute on Gender and Media will be partnering with Walt Disney Studios on this experiment. Mass resistance activists went to the Downey Unified School District Board meeting to oppose last month's initiative to start a new sex ed curriculum. We talked to a parent from Downey Unified who says it covers sensitive issues parents should be teaching their children.
There's a lot of things that they teach them that we're not even allowed to say on air, on TV, or anything like that. And, you know, they kind of give you the option of like, oh, you can opt out, but you can't opt out of everything. There's certain things that they have to be present for. You know, they're letting them know that at age 12 you can go get contraceptions after birth, you know, the day after pill or the morning after pill, whatever it is.
The Teen Talk will be teaching students about issues like having healthy relationships, that sexuality is part of being human, teen body image, gender, sexual orientation, how to prevent unwanted pregnancy, and STIs. We also talked to USC students about what they were taught in school.
I do think just to know your body and everyone else's body is helpful, and I guess I wish they delved into that a little bit more.
I think I only had like 2 weeks in total from middle school and high school about sexual education, like once in 5th grade and like once freshman year of high school, and it really just didn't teach me anything.
I think it's like important to expose people in high school to sex ed and let them and teach them as much as you can, so they're prepared for the future and they don't have problems down the line.
The California Healthy Youth Act was passed back in 2016. Many schools have been working on implementing the changes.
A new company called MindGlow is incorporating virtual reality into active shooter training. The experience teaches participants about self-awareness and defense.
We created a product, Active Shooter Preparation Training in Virtual Reality. In this training, we provide the users the sounds of the most common firearms used in an active shooting, the run, hide, fight method taught by the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI, and evacuation.
When asking DPS about using VR for active shootings, Sergeant Rosalie said the department is open to it, but he said, quote, in general, no, it is not the best way to train. He fears it is too realistic and can frighten users. Mass shootings have become an epidemic in the country, and MindGlow intends to use their training to change this. The company plans to use their technology to train people on a mass scale.
USC is taking major steps to provide free and easily accessible mental health support for students. Modern technology is making this a lot easier. USC is currently working with Talkspace, a crisis hotline in the form of an app. A similar interactive resource, Ask Ari, uses artificial intelligence to answer students' questions on well-being.
It creates an opportunity for students to articulate. It's not just reading an article. It's like, what am I worried about? And, you know, really putting that in, or what I'm concerned about. And so the self-reflection is there. And because you're interacting, you think about your issues a little differently. And then on top of it,
USC had no comment, but they are working on providing students with the support that is needed for a healthy campus. Until then, if you or someone you know is in need of help, please reach out to the health center.
Flu season is here. Find out where you can get a flu shot.
USC football takes on Notre Dame this weekend, and fans are gearing up for the age-old rivalry.
Gemar Tov, everyone. That's one of the many ways in Hebrew you can wish people a happy Yom Kippur. Today is all about forgiveness and sacrifice, but before that, we feast. Check this out. We already have a lot of food here prepared for Yom Kippur. That's because the fast starts today at sundown all the way till sundown tomorrow. On the menu is beef.
Encuentra el bosque más cercano en descubreelbosque.org. El Bosque, más cerca de lo que crees.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere will bring us wireless emergency alerts. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O is for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
Thanks.
Attention USC students, flu season is upon us. Every year, October marks the beginning of the sickest season of the year. Students under USC's health insurance plan can get their shot at the USC pharmacy. If you are not covered by that plan, CVS offers flu shots for $39.
For students who live in close populations with close contacts with others, especially if you're in the dorms, things like that, you are at higher risk because it is spread from person to person. So it is a good idea to get it to protect yourself as well as to protect the people around you. So you can actually get it at any of the USC pharmacies. You can, if you do have the student health insurance, you can go to the USC Health Center pharmacy and ask for it.
100,000 people are affected from this every year. They are additionally hospitalized. An estimated 5 to 20% of the population contracts some version of the flu every season.
No, because I don't think it's necessary.
I think in general vaccines are just to prevent transmission to other students, and the general hope is that once I get the vaccine, I'm a lot less likely to get the flu, and that way it won't affect the people I live with.
I think it's important because even if you have a strong enough immune system to fight off the flu, other people don't, and maybe they don't have the ability to get the flu shot, so kind of protects the population as a whole.
It helps people who can't get the flu shot, so that way we're not spreading it to them. Herd immunity is real. We have to protect everyone.
A few tips: make sure you all wash your hands and stay home if you are feeling sick. Let's keep campus flu-free by getting all of our flu shots.
Tonight marks the beginning of Yom Kippur, a day of atonement on the Jewish calendar. Annenberg Media's Downey Varma is at the Shabbat Jewish Center to tell us more about how students are observing at USC. Hi, Downey.
Gemar Tov, everyone. That's one of the many ways you can wish people a happy Yom Kippur in Hebrew. Before the fast starts, which starts today at sundown till tomorrow sundown, we feast. Check out this feast that started happening already. We got some beef stew, we got some pasta and some salad on the menu. This holiday, even though it's fun and full of festivity, is about reflection and introspection. Today, we're told to let go of something that we have against someone else or ourselves so that we can be less negative people and less toxic. Around Hillel today, later tonight, there's going to be lights so that people remember to see the light in one another. Now, this holiday celebrated on this campus is not just for students. People from all over the community, all over South LA specifically, have come here and have come here every single year. Earlier today, we spoke to one of the directors at Hillel about the importance of this holiday and on this campus. We'll take you to him right about now.
Take stock of where we are, of what we've accomplished in the past year, where we may have fallen short, and making sure to ask for forgiveness and to give it to each other, to give it to ourselves, and to ask of it from God. Judaism isn't an all or nothing religion. In other words, each student will decide how they're going to observe, and we try to be here for all of them wherever they're at.
People are wrapping up their dinner and their prayer right about now, and they're getting ready for those lights. Back to you guys in the studio.
It looks like they're enjoying the weather out there during that celebration, and for me, I'm enjoying it too. It's kind of warming up, but I don't know what's happening. How do you feel?
It is. It's October, so you would think it's fall, but California, and you claim that we don't have seasons.
There's no seasons here. Try the East Coast.
So here's my thing. We have the seasons. They just maybe not as peculiar they are over there. You'll see the leaves change here. It's kind of just like, oh, it's winter now.
No snow, though.
No snow. I wish.
Which I hate. But let's toss it over to our weather girl, Sarah, to tell us what's really going on. Sarah?
Thanks, guys. Happy Yom Kippur and happy midterm season. Luckily on campus, weather is staying nice and warm with a nice 88 degrees outside, perfect for studying outside. Moving on to tomorrow's forecast in the Inland Empire, where weather is going to be a little bit cooler. We see 67 in Big Bear, 79 in San Bernardino, and 80 in Riverside. But looking over in Palm Springs, of course, it's going to be a little bit warmer. And then moving on over to the valley, where weather is actually going to be beautiful for tomorrow. Mostly it's going to be in the 70s with the exception of Malibu with 68, though we love that cooler weather near the beach. And coming back to USC for tomorrow, weather is still going to be pretty nice with a nice 75, LAX 70, Long Beach is also 70, and then looking a little bit more inland, everywhere is going to be 75. Perfect weather, beautiful, beautiful. And looking over onto the 5-day forecast, staying wonderful, 75 tomorrow. It does spike up a little bit on Friday with 85, but not too much. And then by Saturday and Sunday, weather is going to drop a little bit. Now, Midterms are here, and what better place to study than outside? You can lounge on a couch on the balconies in Price, enjoy the scenic view from the second floor of the cinema school, or plug in and charge right across from Lemonade in Tudor Hall. If you're looking for some grass, McCarthy Quad is great for setting up your hammock and basking in the sun.
There's a lot of open spaces, so if the library is too packed and there's like not enough study rooms for you or your group, you can always find space outside.
The only downside to studying outside is there aren't any outlets, so if you need your computer to do work, you don't have that. But if you just like plan accordingly, you can make it.
When the weather's nice, I don't know, I think it's kind of refreshing and just nice to be outside.
I personally prefer to be studying outside for midterms than stuck in the basements of Levy. What about you guys?
I've never been to Levy. Have you?
I have never studied in Levy. I heard it's great. I don't know, though. I'll stick to the media center or maybe even my bed.
Yeah, I don't think you guys are missing out on much.
Oh, well, USC travels to South Bend, Indiana for the 91st matchup between the Trojans and the Fighting Irish. Every year, the winner receives the Jeweled Shillelagh, a trophy that symbolizes the tradition of the rivalry. Last year, USC fell to Notre Dame 17-24. Even though the Trojans lost, it was one of the best games of the season for the then freshman JT Daniels, who threw for 349 yards and a touchdown. This weekend, the Trojans are looking for their first victory at South Bend since a matchup in October of 2011.
USC Notre Dame is one of the oldest rivalries in college football because Notre Dame and USC are two of the oldest teams as well. So I think it's been played continuously every year for maybe almost 100 years now. In the empty box where the Jeweled Shillelagh is normally stored in Heritage Hall, but hopefully it will be stored there next year after we win this year.
Many USC students and alums are traveling to Indiana this weekend to see the Trojans in action.
We've been going to the game since I was 6 years old, and there's nothing better than going to Chicago and watching the marching band on the Navy Pier, and then traveling to South Bend to watch the Fighting Irish take on the Trojans.
If you can't catch a plane to South Bend, you can watch Saturday on NBC at 4:30 p.m. Ninth-ranked Notre Dame is an 11-point favorite for this weekend's game. Guys, how you feeling about the game this weekend? Optimistic? What's going on?
I'm a little worried. I will not lie.
Yeah, South Bend is a tough place to go, but I'm feeling with the Trojans. I'm with the Trojans. I think they're going to do it.
Good, me too. Let's have some faith in our team.
Definitely.
But Jordan, our sports expert, tell us what's coming up.
After last night's loss, the Dodgers have one more shot to make it to the ALCS. The Los Angeles Chargers are bolting up to beat Cancer down in Carson. And the rivalry continues, or does it? Does Notre Dame's recent success over the Trojans signal the end of the rivalry between the two schools? This and more when we come back.
Hi, I'm Smokey Cole Bear, filling in because for 75 years, Smokey only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
Meanwhile, the song was wrong. We did start the fire. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and...
I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
The Dodgers dropped Game 4 to the Nationals last night, losing 6-1.
In the air to left center field, hit pretty well. Bellinger goes back, leaping, it's gone! Ryan Zimmerman, a 3-run shot!
The score was knotted at 1-1 until the fifth inning when the Nationals scored 4 times. Pitcher Max Scherzer limited the high-powered Dodger offense to 1 run, a Justin Turner homer to left field in the first inning. The series ends tomorrow in a winner-take-all game in Los Angeles. As part of the fallout from Rockets GM Daryl Morey's tweet and the NBA's refusal to apologize to China on his behalf, the 2 Lakers-Nets games scheduled in China this week will not be broadcast in the country. We sat down with Annenberg sports media and business professor Jeff Fellenzer to tell us more.
The message was clear. If you disagree with the political philosophy that we have and the stance we've taken toward Hong Kong, for example, then we don't want to do business with you. It's put the NBA and it's put the Rockets in a real tricky position.
According to USA Today Sports, there's a possibility the 2 games may also be canceled. Penn State safety Jonathan Sutherland received a letter from 2 opinionated alumni who took the time to criticize his dreadlocks. Sutherland's teammate Antonio Shelton posted the letter on Twitter, which has since gone viral. In the letter, the alums say they, quote, miss the clean-cut men and women from their day and called his hair awful, disgusting, and certainly unattractive. Penn State Athletic Director Sandy Barber responded to the letter. She said, I stand with our Penn State student athletes and appreciate how they represent PSU in competition, in the classroom, and in the community. Their dress, tattoos, or hairstyle has no impact on my support, nor does their gender, skin color, sexuality, or religion. Sutherland also responded saying, let this be one of the many examples to us that in 2019, people of different cultures, religions, and ethnicities are still being discriminated against, and it needs to stop.
When it comes to cancer, the NFL and Los Angeles Chargers know that offense is the best defense. That's why they held Huddle to Intercept Cancer, an event to spread awareness and teach about early detection. For rookie quarterback Easton Stick, it was an opportunity to give back to fans, fighters, and survivors.
It is neat to see high school football team here helping out, and I think you just see how involved this community is and how much the community cares about one another. And so, getting a chance to spend some time with them and obviously some cancer survivors, cancer patients, and get a chance to learn their stories a little bit. So it'll be a fun day.
The event partnered with NFL Crucial Catch Movement, promoting early detection and healthy habits. And now that it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, those at the event know it's time to think pink. Charger fan Susie Spanos commends her team for doing their part. So Susie, what do you think?
This is our team, my team, and I'm so proud of our team and all that we're doing because we've really been in the forefront of the Crucial Catch moment.
And with that, the Chargers dropped their game on Sunday, unfortunately, but USC football knows a little thing about dropping games as well, especially in our last 2 matchups at Notre Dame. We lost, so tell me, coming into Notre Dame this weekend in South Bend, Indiana, if we lose, is it still a rivalry?
By definition, yes, but by competitive nature, no. Rivalry means 2 teams can go back and forth. It's always exciting to go, but I feel like people are going to go to Notre Dame. They're going to be like, we might not win. I'm just going more to Chicago to hang out, meet some friends. So, Heldon, please, road wins.
I disagree. I think it will always be a rivalry. It will always be competitive. This is USC Notre Dame. We've been going for 93 years. The Trojans have taken on the Fighting Irish in Los Angeles, in South Bend, and in 1996, that was the year we cracked the 13-year curse when we lost 13 to Notre Dame, 11 losses and 2 ties. And the Trojans have come back stronger from that. In 2005, we had a great win, a great game, and that brought so much excitement to LA, to USC, and to all the fans, all over the country. So I think no matter what, when these 2 teams face off, we're going to be excited as fans and our school, and we're going to be cheering for them regardless.
I am excited to see Keaton Slovis back under center. We haven't seen him in a little bit because of his concussion. We had Fink, and that one 50-50, we could say. So having Slovis back, I think, will make it a little more competitive. And if USC can stick around in the first half, maybe they can make it close. My score prediction, though, I'm going to go Notre Dame 30, USC 23. I'll keep it close.
Okay, I actually had a really similar score prediction, so hopefully Helton can bring us a win on the road.
Helton.
Please, Helton. And of course, we hope to see the Jeweled Shillelagh back on campus. But for now, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, guys. What are your score predictions?
I don't know. I don't ever know score predictions, but I will say that I hope and I'm optimistic that USC will win. I don't care how hard or how tough Notre Dame is. Have faith in our boys.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying 21-17. I'm taking the Trojans.
Okay, nice. We're on the same team. I love it.
Definitely. There's new e-cig related deaths and another vaping device in the market.
And it's October, and you know what that means. Halloween is coming, and we looked at the latest trends. We'll be right back.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
A meme targeting a special interest community that lives on the 6th floor of Floor Tower circulated on social media. It comes after a fire alarm caused the floor to flood. You can get the full story on uscannonburgmedia.com.
A 17-year-old male from the Bronx has died from a vaping-related illness that makes him the youngest person to die in this nationwide epidemic. The FDA has now approved a new non-vaping product known as IQOS. Unlike a normal vape, this product heats tobacco and does not burn it. Excuse me. According to Altria's website, IQOS has even fewer toxins. We talked to an expert in emerging tobacco products.
To say that this heat not burn product is safer than a combustible cigarette is not the same as saying that it is safe in its own right. So we're talking about a product that may have harm reduction implications, but we don't know how an individual is going to use it. Heat not burn products would be associated with its own potentially unique health consequences. So there's a lot to be determined with a product like this.
Only 24 days to decide what you're wearing for Halloween. Marvel characters in the evil Maleficent are expected to be this year's most popular costumes. According to a survey by the National Retail Federation, shoppers plan to spend an average of $86. Many customers are already out there shopping.
Short period of time I've been here, I've seen children, adults, old people, people that talk to themselves. I watch people walk out here with hundreds. You know, anywhere from 100 or 50 or better, $50 or better. So they spend money, you know, so just even if it's just a little toy.
I was gonna go as Jimi Hendrix, you know, get the big fro going, maybe some psychedelic apparel, but easy costume, low priced.
Best suit ever. I'm gonna be Donald Trump.
A total of 172 million Americans plan to celebrate Halloween this year. Nearly half of them will be wearing a costume. I'll start. I don't really do Halloween. I'm looking forward, though, to like all of the Disney characters. What are you guys looking forward to?
What are you wearing?
I'm gonna go as Jordan.
Jordan
here?
When I saw people were spending $86, that's outrageous. My whole closet's all Halloween costumes. So I can just look through. I have flower pants. I have these crazy shirts. I have cowboy hats. I'm not spending a dime on anything.
Smart. Save some money.
I think Goodwill is always good to go. You can thrift, but I like group costumes. So like The Incredibles or something.
Yeah.
Like Frozen. I'm trying to be Frozen. Like Honey, where's my super suit? Come on.
If I did dress up, I must say I would go as Supergirl.
Yeah. Definitely. But thank you for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone here at Annenberg Media, I'm Caleb Michael.
And I'm Jamia Pugh. You can watch us on the web at uscannonburgmedia.com. Good night.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.